The second option that I chose for our math final was option number 2. And this is where we were to pretend like we were an early kindergarten teacher and we wanted our students to develop core principles of counting and also start developing substitutizing skills. So for this purpose, we needed to create the opportunity for these skills, and we needed to choose a picture off of the website provided to us. So the dot image that I chose is here provided on the side. And so for step one, we wanted to choose the image and then pretend like our kindergartners are working through counting this image. We want to illustrate and explain how you want to see all three core counting principles. Those principles are counting sequence, one-to-one correspondence, and cardinality. So for here, the counting sequence is usually starting at 1, and it deals with numbers that describe quantities. So the sequence starts at 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. The one-to-one correspondence is when counting to determine how many each number word should be applied to only one item in the set. So one-to-one correspondence, students should be able to see that each one of these represents one in the data set and also understand that they are all equal to each other. So this is one circle. This is also one circle. They are both the same amount of the number being counted. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and cardinality refers to the quantity or total number of items in a set and can be determined by substitutizing for very small sets or counting. While substitutizing allows students to perceive the cardinality of small sets, counting requires them to understand that the last number in the counting sequence represents the quantity of the set. So when students are counting, if they were using this dot diagram here, they would be able to understand that when they are counting these dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they're going to be able to understand that that last one that they counted, 8, is actually the total number of the amount in the data set. So for this, we would want to have the students work through this. I would want to work with all of the students as a group and then one-on-one working on these three strategies or counting principles and making sure that they are concrete in their understanding of what that entails. Also, for step 2, providing 3 different ways students can use substitutizing to figure out number of dots in an image you provided. So substitutizing is visually recognizing the number of the items in a small set without counting. So students will be able to look at this dot diagram, and if they are substitutizing correctly or efficiently, they will be able to see that, oh, I'm seeing, one example would be, I'm seeing 3 and 3 plus 2, so I know 3 is 6, and then plus 2 is 8. So that's one way they could see this. They could also see this as, I've seen 5 here. So when they're looking at the 5, then they can see the 3. So I know 5 plus 3 equals 8. And another way that they could see this is they could actually see this as, I'm seeing one line of 3, one line of 3, one on the top and one on the bottom. So they could do a 3 plus 1 plus 1, which would equal 8. So students are able to quickly look and without going and saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they are quickly able to group these in to smaller sets. So 3 plus what? 1 plus 1 equals 8. So they are able to visually recognize that there are certain ways that they can quickly get to the same answer of a data set by not counting one by one, that there are quicker and more efficient ways of counting.